Red blasters on full.
What's up guys, Gripe here with another review, and today we're going to check out the Marvel Legends Whirlwind figure. And this is part of the Red Skull, Red Onslaught Build-A-Figure wave. And as always, we'll start off with the packaging. And it comes in your typical Marvel Legends packaging. You have the Build-A-Figure logo up in the top left. Underneath that you have the Legends series logo. Below that you've got the big window where you can see the figure and the Build-A-Figure part. And below that you've got the wave logo. It is the Legends series Captain America wave. And on the bottom it says Forces of Evil, which is Whirlwind and Copperhead. And on the side of the package you've got a picture of Whirlwind. And on the back of the package you've got a big picture of Copperhead and Whirlwind figures. And in the top right you have a little write-up about the Forces of Evil. And you can pause that if you want to read it. And towards the bottom you have a picture of all the figures in the wave, as well as the Red Onslaught Build-A-Figure. And on the other side of the package you have a picture of Copperhead, the other member of the Forces of Evil. And on the top you've got the Captain Shield logo, and on the bottom you've got all the legal jargon. So I'll crack open the box and see what we have inside. And while the figure does not come with accessories, he does come with the left arm for the Build-A-Figure. So now check out the sculpt and paint on the figure itself, and I have to say I've always really enjoyed the design of Whirlwind. It's very simple but also very menacing. And I think that comes across really well with the design of the figure. I especially like what they've done in the helmet here. You can see those eyes look really nice. They're very well painted, as well as the lips. There's not a whole lot to the lips, but I do like the flesh tone, and I just like the way that that's sunken inside the helmet. If you pop it off here, you can see it's an actual separate plastic insert on the inside, and the overall effect of it came out really good. I also think the helmet itself is pretty well sculpted. It's got a very nice streamlined look to it, especially with the fins and the overall shape of the helmet. You can see there's some marbling here on the side. And generally I do like the marbling in the Marvel Legends, but I think on Whirlwind it really detracts from that kind of streamlined finish that he has. But overall I think the head came out pretty good. And the rest of the green also looks really good. You can see there is a little bit of an issue here on the chest. They got some of the gray paint over on top of the green, which is a little annoying. It's really the only paint issue, but you can see there's a bit of a mold issue here on the side of the helmet. And again, it just kind of takes away from the streamlined nature of the figure. And another area where the marbling really just doesn't seem to work is on these buzzsaws. It just seems to me like that should be a flat piece of gray there and not really have that marbling effect. And these do come off of the figure, and you can see the tip of that peg is painted silver, so they blend in fairly well. And the rest of the figure has fairly nice paint on it, and the sculpting really has no other issues. Although you can notice that the green of the belt here and the green on the pants is a little bit different. It's really not that off-putting, but it's almost like a more matte green and slightly darker. Other than that, the legs came out pretty good. There's really no issues with those. The marbling here I actually like. I think it works well on the gray, just not on the green. And the boots came out pretty good. Again, these are the same boots that are on the Capwolf figure from this wave, just green as opposed to red. And there's no tread or anything on the bottom, just some peg holes. So now take a look at the articulation on the figure, which is fairly standard for your Marvel Legends. I'll just take the saws off so you can get a better view of them. And the head is definitely limited in articulation. You can see you can only make him look up about that high and down that far. The helmet does hit on the chest here and here. And you can see it's not the joint, it's just because of the helmet. That joint does have full range of motion. You're also a bit limited in rotation. You can rotate it all the way around, but you do have some rubbing, and sometimes it'll pop the head off like that. And again, with a helmeted figure like this, you're really not expecting a whole lot of movement. The arms go up about straight, which is fairly typical for your Marvel Legend. You do have full rotation at the socket, and he does have a bicep cut, which you can get all the way around. He's got double jointed elbows. You can get a pretty good bend on that. You can almost touch the shoulder. And he has swivel and hinge wrists. You can get them all the way around. You are limited in the up and downward movement on that though. And he has the typical Marvel Legends ratcheting diaphragm. You can get him back a decent amount and forward a decent amount as well. He also has rotation at the waist, although mine is super loose. You can see you can really spin him around. And that could probably be cool if you're playing with him, but not so much for posing. And you can only get the legs out about that far. That's really as far as you're going to go. He does have a lot of space though above the socket there, so you can really get a nice forward kick. You're getting well over 90 degrees on that. He is limited going backwards, so you can maybe get 5-10 degrees. That's about all you're getting. And he does have an upper thigh cut. You can get that all the way around if you want. He's got double jointed knees. You can get a pretty good bend on that as well. He's also got a boot cut, but it was very stiff just like on my Cap figure, but once you get it loose, there's really no issues. And just like the Cap, he's got great ankle extension. You're getting like 90 degrees on that, but you're only getting 10 degrees up. And because of the boot cut, there's no ankle rotation, but he does have a really nice rocker pivot. You're getting close to 90 degrees in either direction. So now check out the size and scale of the figure, and he stands at right around 6 5/8, 6 3/4 of an inch tall. And here he is next to the Captain America figure from the same wave on the right and the Infinite Series Mark 43 on the left. As you can see, he's a fairly tall figure, and I don't know if it's scaled that well considering Marvel lists him at 6'1". So overall, while I do like this figure, I think he's the least favorite of the figures I've reviewed in this wave so far, but it has been a really solid wave. And while there were some small issues with the paint and molding and a really loose waist joint, there was also no accessories, which I would have liked to see maybe some extra hands if you're not going to throw anything else in. It's still a solid figure, and I would definitely recommend him. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the review, and as always, subscribe for more.